Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Coach JC. Everyone gather around should be a good one today. Today's topic is don't disrespect the woman who made sure you were straight and you had nothing. A lot of times, as men, we end up disrespecting women that been there since day one, our day ones, women that's been through us through thick and thin. We like to betray them, belittle them, don't make them feel special, don't make them feel wanted, and a lot of times we really don't have their best interests, or we want to give people that really don't give us any kind of attention, any kind of affection, any kind of love, the attention that rightfully that person that's been there for us gives. So we have to be very cautious, be very aware of how we're using our time. I mean, universal thing is just be respectful and kind, generous to everybody. You don't need to be extra with women or just people in general who you haven't met or haven't dealt with. I just want you to make sure that you're in a calm space of mind when you're out there dating somebody. And just understand, like I said, they have your best interest at heart. Sometimes we don't see it in the moment. Sometimes we may feel like the grass is maybe greener on the other side. But you gotta realize the person's in your life for a reason. That's something that, I work on with an all marriage. Sometimes I hear a wife a lot. Sometimes I hear her, but sometimes it might go a different way. Then I might hear something for somebody else, and I may take that advice over what the wife said, and that's not good for me. It's not really good for our marriage. So like I said, it's something that I have to work on myself. And to be honest with you, a lot of men gotta listen to their wife a lot better. Like I said, she wants the best out of you, even no one to get stuff that you want to accomplish, but you gotta make sure that you're in the right headspace. You're not in the right headspace, then, what she's saying to you, go to one ear out the other, and instead of y'all coming together, communicating, and talking like adults, y'all end up arguing and fighting and not being on the same one accord. So you definitely have to make sure that y'all are one accord, make sure that y'all are speaking to one another. Even on days where you feel like, hey, you don't really feel like being bothered, you don't really feel like listening, you still have to listen, you still have to communicate, you still have to, respect each other's boundaries. You gotta respect each other's boundaries, you gotta respect each other's point of view, their mindset. Have to really understand that, it's not easy to be in a relationship, not easy to be marriages. Like I said, it's easy to be astray and, feel like, oh, this person's better for me, or I'm listening to this person more. But you gotta give person respect, just like the same way you give respect to your bosses, management, you gotta have respect for your wife, you gotta respect your marriage, respect your boundaries. So if we out there doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing, out there cheating, lying, being deceptive, it's only gonna bring you down in the end. You're gonna have the anchor. The anchor gonna sink. You're not gonna be able to pick it up. So, just be cautious of that. Be very aware of that. Be very mindful of that as well too. Like I said, the stuff I'm working on too. Listen to her a lot more. A lot of stuff she'll say. I won't listen to her in the moment, but guess what? A month, 2 months later, he'll be like, man, I should listen to her. So, that's what it's all about, in a marriage, in a marriage relationship. It's not easy, like I said, but you gotta listen to her. And don't be giving them, your time, your attention to other people, feeling like other people gonna give you what your wife or your husband is missing. You gotta listen to her, respect her boundaries, and just understand that, hey, if it works out. It's like, in the day, if she has your best interest, then more than likely, 9 out of 10, it's gonna work itself out. You just gotta trust the process. God wouldn't put y'all together if he didn't feel like y'all was fit to be one another. Like I said, love each other, respect each other, and just understand that, hey, you may not agree with it, but like I said, just kind of go along, but kind of think why is what's the benefit of whatever kind of advice she's telling me, I can focus on. And then I know for me, it was like writing my first book. I seen she had one out. She was trying to get me to write one. I'm like, nah, I'm good. But I was like, you know what? I gotta put pen to paper. I can't just have all these thoughts and I jot it down. I like to write and stuff. So I was like, yeah, let me go write me a book. So, stuff like that could have been easily resolved, like I said, it do take time, it do take a lot of time to give in, sometimes it may take you a minute, But guess what? Somebody else tell you the same thing, you'll be all in. So it's like, what's the difference? You know, I think you do get in a situation where like somebody can tell us over and over again. Guess what? That imagine person tells the same thing, and we're all in. So, you know, I don't know. You just get used to it. That's something I still got to figure out with myself in my own marriage. But that's all I really have to say. What's your thoughts and comments below? Any video topic, feel free to let me know down below in the comments. Until next time out, Coach JC.